Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Vocational Education and Training, SOVIT, Advanced Certificate in Information Security, ASICE. OSE 044 Server Security. Block 1 Email Security. Unit 3 Password Attack Vectors. 3.0 Introduction. As soon as peoples has started to transfer their information over the internet and storing the physical data in digital format either on personal computers or over the storage devices available on internet, the security issue is a serious problem for each internet user. The internet is no man's land. The whole world has been changed into a global village as the internet pervades the homes, offices, and even phones. The internet has made it easy to share our thoughts and feelings every day as chat. On social networking sites like Twitter and Facebook, we can now express feelings and depict thought patterns over a public platform. Information about self, plan of work, career, and family are also speedily available and sent via the internet. Most of the companies have their website where the clients customers can access their information. In fact, financial institutions are also executing their transactions over the internet. Security outfits have private and confidential data on networks that can easily access the net. All these points make the internet a crime-prone place. Crime over the internet is referred as cybercrime. This underscores the need for cyberspace security. Since internet is not the property of any individual, so we all users are responsible for securing the internet. As the world shrinks, the internet will definitely be a means for evildoers and enemies of progress and freedom to use to perpetuate their obnoxious. This is another reason why we must take the issue very seriously. 3.1 Objectives. After studying this unit, you should be able to times identify why the internet security is important. Tilde. Times list different security threats. Times explain how to minimize the security threats. Times list different available security tools. Times explain some tips to avoid hacking. Times explain how to prevent attack vectors, and Times list different types of attack and attack vectors. Times 3. To what is attack vector? An attack vector is sequence of steps or way through which a hacker gains access to a computer or server to perform some malicious task. Attack vector gives chance to a hacker to perform vulnerable activities. Examples of attack vector include attachment documents with mail, chat rooms, pop-ups, and viruses. 3.2.1 How to block attack vector? There exists no perfect solution to block the attack vectors, but by some extent, we can reduce it by applying the firewalls and using antivirus softwares. Here, one point is considerable that a single prevention mechanism is not long-term applicable because hackers regularly change their attack vectors and try to gain unauthorized access to system. Generally, attack vector need programming to penetrate the system security. Hackers take advantage of known weak spots to gain entry. Many attack vectors take advantage of the human element in the system because they are often the weakest link. Ordinary virus attacks have been declining. The bad news is that serious hostile software writers have moved on to more detrimental attacks, such as installing Trojan horses and spyware. The number of these attacks has increased, and most of the attack vectors have been used to pull them off. Virtually all software has defects, bugs, and bad design that make computers vulnerable to attack. Windows, Office suites, media players, browsers, and browser plugins are just a few examples of software that is open to attack. Attack vector, or just vector-specific computer system vulnerability, along with the path and method used to exploit it. It's just a particular way to gain access to a computer in order to install malware, gain external control, or extract user data. Email attachments have been the classic vector to use against humans. Email messages that entice or alarm will often get users to open malicious attachments. Once opened, the attachment does the dirty work, often with the willing permission of the victim. Many other attacks also rely on deception to get past defense systems. Note, don't confuse attack vectors with payloads. For example, worms attack through the network connection to get in. That's just the first step. Worms usually carry an installer for malware, such as spyware or boot J-ware as their payload. The worm's work is done when the payload is installed and running on the computer. 3.3 Computer System Security. Computer security is a branch of computer technology deals with information security as applied to computers and networks. The objective of computer security includes protection of information and digital property from theft, corruption, or natural disaster, while allowing the information and property to remain accessible and productive to its intended users. The term computer system security means the collective processes and mechanisms by which sensitive and valuable information and services are protected from publication, tampering, or collapse by unauthorized activities or untrustworthy individuals, and unplanned events, respectively. The strategies and methodologies of computer security often differ from most other computer technologies because of its somewhat elusive objective of preventing unwanted computer behavior instead of enabling wanted computer behavior. 3.3.1 System Security Attack versus Hacking. Attempt to break into one or more computers and take malicious action may or may not be successful on a particular computer, while the word hacking has two definitions. The first definition refers to the hobby profession of working with computers. The second definition refers to breaking into computer systems. While the first definition is older and is still used by many computer enthusiasts who refer to cybercriminals as crackers, the second definition is much more commonly used. In particular, the web pages here refer to hackers simply because our web server logs show that everyone who reaches these pages are using the second definition as part of their search criteria. 3.4 List of cyber attack threat trends. Since the inception of internet, hackers has used various ways to break the system security and gain the unauthorized access of system. Few most widely applied attacks are listed below. L. Internet social engineering attacks. 2. Network sniffers. 3. Packet spoofing. 4. Session hijacking. 5. Cyber threats and bullying. 6. Automated probes and scans. 7. GUI intrusion tools. 2. 8. Automated widespread attacks. 9. Widespread, distributed denial of service attacks. 10. Industrial espionage. 11. Executable code attacks against browsers. 12. Email propagation of malicious code. 13. Wide-scale Trojan distribution. 14. Distributed attack tools. 15. Targeting of specific users. 16. Anti-forensic techniques. 3.5 Types of attack vectors. Email as an attack vector. Email attacks continue to advance in sophistication. Miscreants are combining their tricks with the techniques of spammers to make their attacks more effective. Millions of messages can be sent out in the hope that a large number of people will be duped. This story about a fake Microsoft update is a good example. Attachments. Files that you download from questionable sources are also likely to contain malicious code. There are even ways to include malicious code in music files or pictures. Infected entertainment files spread mainly through file sharing networks and from dodgy websites. Tilde. Messages. Email messages themselves are also used as attack vectors, even though it's more common to use attachments. The hostile content is embedded in the email message itself. Another trick is to combine the two vectors so that if the message doesn't get you, the attachment will. Unsolicited commercial email, spam in other words, is almost always an entryway for SIM, fraud, dirty tricks, or malicious action. Any link that offers something free or tempting is suspect. Acting on a spam message usually leads to an outcome that is unpleasant. The stories on the bogus email page will help you learn what to look for. Schemes and fraud. Email and websites are the enabling vectors, but deception is the primary attack vector here, since that's what makes schemes and fraud work. Email and websites are often used in conjunction to perpetrate fraud. The internet is a natural breeding ground for scheme artists because it lends itself to anonymity. Hackers. The term hacker was originally a term of respect for computer experts who knew all about computers and could do cool things with them. Some hackers crossed over to the dark side, and these villains were more properly known as crackers. The distinction isn't often made in the popular press, and it annoys some hackers who like to think of themselves as talented white hats. Hackers can be a formidable attack vector because, unlike ordinary malicious code, people are flexible and they can improvise. Hackers use a variety of hacking tools, heuristics, and social engineering to gain access to computers and online accounts. Once therein, they may just vandalize, but more often, they try to steal something or install a Trojan horse so they can commandeer it for their own use. Heedless guests. Has your computer ever been invaded by a guest user? It's easy to overlook that avenue of destruction. You can do some things to block this activity, but backup is the only real protection. Web pages. Web pages can be used as attack vectors too, particularly pop-up windows. They can be rigged to do a number of things, virtually anything that a malicious email attachment can do. They take advantage of the power that modern browsers have to access several program languages: Java, JavaScript, ActiveX, and Microsoft Word macros, for example. Your best defense is to stay away from risky websites: Gothic, Vares, Cracks, Gamer, Cheat Code, Tresequis sites, and things of that ilk. Counterfeit websites are used to extract personal information from people. Here, they are an enabling vector. The actual attack vector is deception. Counterfeit websites look very much like the genuine websites they imitate. You think you're doing business with someone you trust. However, you're really giving your personal information, like your address, credit card number, and expiration. 1 tilde tilde Zetio, a rip-off artist. They're often used in conjunction with spam, which gets people to visit the website in the first place. Pop-up web pages can install spyware, adware, hijackers, dialers or trojans or other scumware. They can install software that takes control of your browser and steers you where they want you to go. They may even close your internet connection and then make a very expensive phone call using your modem. All of these things are larcenous at heart. Worms. I. Most worms are delivered as attachments, but there are new worms that attack other networking vulnerabilities. Windows DCOM vulnerability, MO, is a prime example. Any kind of remote access service is likely to be vulnerable to this sort of worm. These worms propagate without the need for humans to open attachments. Email worms, often called viruses, have been the attack vector of choice on the internet. They're far more infectious than ordinary viruses because they do not rely on humans to actively pass them on. All they need for the human to do is open the attachment. If an attachment carrying a worm is opened, it emails copies of itself to some or all of the people in any address book it finds. Meanwhile, like other viruses, these worms can do something destructive. More often, these email worms install spyware, trojans, or some other malware. Macros. Many documents, those used by Word and Excel, for example, allow macros. A macro does something like automate a spreadsheet, for example. The problem is that macros can also be used for malicious purposes. They can attack your computer directly, keeping your software patched, and antivirus. Programs are the best defenses against macros. Trojan horses. Trojans hide themselves from the user and provide a backdoor that enables times remote control of the computer. The Trojan itself is just a payload that can come in on any attack vector, for example a hacker. However, some Trojans are used as attack vector themselves. For example, a hacker can use a computer that is infected by a Trojan to attack other computers. This lets the hacker hide their computer behind the infected computer. Foistware, sneakware. Foistware is a new term for software that surreptitiously adds hidden components to your system on the sly. The term is used to differentiate the kind of sneak installation done by commercial software from classic Trojan horse installations, which are usually done with attachments, worms, or hacker crackers. Spyware is the most common form of foistware. Viruses. Strictly speaking, viruses are not an attack vector in my view. They're malicious computer code that makes them a payload. The main attack vector for viruses was originally infected floppy disks, but now the vectors include email attachments, downloaded files, worms, and more. 3.6 Some tips to anti-hacking. Use a strong password on your account. 2. Your password must consist of alphanumerical characters and be in uppercase and lowercase in the same time. These tips will strengthen your password and it may take years before a hacker finds out your whole code. 3. Change your password as often as you can. 4. Regularly changing your password is a good habit. This helps avoid and confuse determined hackers. 5. Watch what you click on every websites that you visit. 6. Always check the URL in your browser. Make sure that you are still in a safe website to avoid getting phished. 7. Don't use public Wi-Fi. Casual surfing and browsing the net without logging to your email while using a public Wi-Fi is fine. But accessing your email and transacting online through your credit card is dangerous. There might be a hacker who also uses the same Wi-Fi connection and might sniff out some of your valuable information. 8. When using public computers, don't click Remember My Password. Option D. 9. Clear the browser's cookies, cache and session before leaving. 10. Log out your account. 11. Keep your operating system up to date. 12. Don't use another person's computer to check any of your accounts that you care about. Think about the keyloggers, able, cookie spoofing programs that could be installed. 13. If you have to use someone else's computer and you really care about security, download Spybot first and run a check on their computer. If you find something, go and ask them what the hell they were playing at. 14. Change your passwords monthly or even weekly for your most important accounts. This again limits the chances dramatically of a hacker discovering your login details. 15. Also check out this free software you can use for antivirus and spyware. Spybot Search and Destroy and Avira Antivire. I've been using this software for years and it's served me very well to date. 16. And finally, if your passwords do get stolen, don't get mad, go nuts. 3.7 Tools for hacking. The following tools are tools that are often used by hackers in launching the action. Each tool has its own specifications that can be used as needed. 1. Kane Enable. A very popular tool is known as a versatile application. Besides CanMake cracking passwords, this application allows you to obtain the hash values from various sources. 2. DumbPackleDumbSec. This tool is used to perform the job enumeration. How it works by exploiting null connections so that these tools are capable of displaying user accounts in detail. 3. Keylogger. This tool can hide itself if detected from the task manager. Keylogger secretly records all keyboard activity on a PC that already installed this application, including clipboard, snaps, TS, and addresses of websites visited. 4. WinFingerprint. This application incorporates many enumeration techniques. In this application, you can see through the net BIOS enumeration, 5 megabytes, MSRPC, SNMP, and Active Directory. You can just enter the IP address of hosts that want to review and select the scan button to start scanning. 5. Sam's Big Play Maker. Application of this one is unique because it can hide hidden text or message that you enter becomes like a form of conversation. Ordinary they will not realize that there was a hidden message in it. 6. Track Eraser Pro. In matters erase the traces, this application is very reliable because it supports many types of applications. Besides can remove the log that is recorded by Windows, this application will remove traces of Office applications, Real One Player, Media Player and so forth. 7. Active Password Changer. With this tool, you can change the password in the computer that you can physically access. There are some features it possesses, namely booting from USB drives, floppy disks, or via CD. 3.8 Glossary of security-related terms. Adware, parasitic software that generates, usually tacky, pop-ups or injects ads into web pages. A cousin of spyware. Attack, attempt to break into one or more computers and take malicious action may not be successful on a particular computer. Browser Helper Object BHOs extend the functions of Internet Explorer. They may seem harmless to install, but BHOs are powerful enough to do what any malicious program could do. Cracker usually means a malicious hacker, often referred to as a black hat or black hat hacker, people who break the protection of software so that illegal copies can be made are called crackers too. And finally, I believe it's also a southern term used to disparage a white person. Crimeware, a form of intrusive software designed to extort or steal something of value, for example your account credentials or personal identity. Data. Dialer. Dialers cause your PC to call long distance or for pay numbers rather than your ISP. The result is a large telephone bill for you and a nice profit for the perpetrator. Email worm, malicious code that replicates itself by searching through the victim's address book and mailing itself to the addresses it finds. See worm. Below. Exploit, attack based on a specific vulnerability, for example the preview pane of Outlook Express can activate malicious content in email messages that are in HTML format. Foistware, software that installs software on your system on the sly. It's usually bundled with bait software that conceals the intrusive software. Hack, break, into and compromising a computer in person. Hacker cracker, rather than through malware. Hacker, adept computer programmer, often self-taught, often referred to as a white hat, but loosely used as a generic term for cracker. Malware, software that is deliberately destructive, but often used as a general term for all kinds of malevolent and parasitic computer code. Trojan horses. Adware, spyware, hijackers, dialers, viruses and worms are specific examples. The first malware back before the term existed was a virus. Virus is also used carelessly as a generic term for malware. Malware has evolved to become largely crimeware. Identity theft, taking over your financial identity. The first step is collection of enough of your personal data to be able to take the second step, which will probably be to apply for new credit cards in your name and plunder them. Before you find out more, identity theft actually starts with offline information theft than with online theft, but the trend is increasingly online. Payload, malicious code carried by attack vectors, spyware, Trojan horses. Dialers, destructive code and other malware. Some attacks deliver multiple payloads, warheads. Script kiddies, juveniles who simply download other people's hacking tools and malware and see what damage they can do. Signatures, definitions, telltale characteristics, the fingerprints or DNA of viruses and other malware. Signature files are frequently updated as often as once a day. POP, Post Office Protocol, POP, is one of the main protocols for downloading email to an email client program. Social engineering, fooling a computer user to obtain information, for example account numbers or passwords, which makes gaining access to their computer or online account easy. It is often done by telephone, but online sending bogus email messages is the preferred method. These convincing messages often lead victims to counterfeit websites where they unwittingly enter their information. Spam, unsolicited email, most of which is a seam of one form or another. Spoof, it's very easy to put bogus, from, to, and reply to addresses in email messages. It's a common part of social engineering, above. It's also easy to set up a counterfeit website or create links in email messages or on web sites that don't take you where it looks like they will. All this is spoofing. Spyware, parasitic software that is secretly or obscurely installed on your computer when you install free toolbars, helpers, other nifty things by visiting sneaky websites, or when you click deceptive email attachments. In the best case, spyware creates pop up ads. In the worst case, it steals your passwords or even your personal identity. System, a group of independent but interrelated elements comprising a unified whole. In this security context, either the operating system and its adjuncts or the computer system as a whole, which includes the operator system worm, my term for the first class of worm which propagates without human intervention. Trojan horse, Trojan parasitic software used to infiltrate targeted computers so the Trojan master can access them remotely. Often designed for a specific purpose, such as relaying spam, but some Trojans give the master total control of the computer. Trojans seldom do damage as a virus would because the master wants his control to remain hidden. Vector, from biology, an agent that carries and transmits a disease. Related to computers, a vector is a defined method of attack directed at specific weak spots, attack gateways in computers or networks. Tragically, the human element is often what's targeted. The intent is to infect or gain control. In the case of a worm, this control is used to propagate replicas of the malware to other computers. It's like the flu, soon the internet has an epidemic on its hands. Vectors are often confused with the payload of the vector. For example, the so big worm an attack vector is often called a virus. Yes, it carries a virus, but that is its payload. Strictly speaking, worms are not viruses. The name worm comes from the way they worm their way through networks. Virus, a program that reproduces its own code by attaching itself to other executable files so that the virus code runs when the infected executable file is run. Viruses almost always seek to do damage as well as replicate. Virus is often used carelessly IMHO for any kind of intrusive or destructive worms, Trojans, spyware, etc. Webmail, web-based email that presents messages as web pages rather than classic email where the messages are downloaded directly. Webmail is read in a browser rather than in an email client, so browser security considerations apply. The practical effect is usually somewhat reduced security. Vulnerability, a security exposure in an operating system or other system. Software or application software component. Worm 1. Intrusive code that breaks into other computers and starts itself running with no human intervention and subsequently uses the newly infected computer to break into more computers. 2. Intrusive code that self-propagates by mailing copies of itself from computers it has already infected. This one requires human intervention opening the attachment and so is often called a virus. Zombie, a computer with a Trojan horse installed. The Trojan lets the Trojan owner access the computer remotely. Networks of these used as a staging ground for anonymous attacks on other computers. 3.9 Summary. This unit deals with password attack vectors. Such attack vector is a sequence of steps or way through which a hacker gains access to a computer or server to perform some malicious task. Attack vector tilde gives chance to a hacker to perform vulnerable activities. Therefore, it is essential to understand such vectors to properly deal with them. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the